Hey everybody, and happy Sunday. Where has the weekend gone? I don't know. Sorry for the last minute notice on the live practice, but we just got home from work not too long ago, just trying to catch up on all the orders that we have. And it's hard to do when Sasha's freaking out all the time. So we've worked the last 2 weekends, trying to catch up. So anyhow, it's Sunday, and I just thought, we'll slow down, do a nice gentle practice. Hopefully the charge on my phone will hold out, because I forgot to charge it while we were at work. So just make sure that you have whatever props you want, because I'm going to use a whole bunch of them, because I like to do that on a restorative gentle practice. So it's better to have everything and not need something than to not have everything and then you've got to get up and disrupt what you're doing and get what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and start this afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, in mountain pose. No, in Sukhasana, easy pose. So you can have your legs loosely pulled in with the ankles uncrossed, or if you need to extend one leg, as I often do with my right, you can do that. Make sure that you're using any props that you need to support you in any pose that you do. So in this case, I've got a purple bolster underneath my right leg because I still can't quite drop that knee all the way down. The hip is still not quite right. But hopefully with my new shoes, that will get better over time. So we'll see. All right, so we're just gonna come into easy pose, bringing the hands to the knees. Palms can be up if you need some energy, down if you need to be grounded, or one of each if you're feeling a little bit of everything, which I think we're all kind of feeling a little bit of everything right now. So let's just sit up nice and tall. Relax our shoulders onto our backs. Close your eyes. And again, as I often do in gentle practices, if you want to breathe your deep yoga breath at any time during this practice, go ahead and do so. If you prefer to just have your normal breath but through your nose, that's fine as well. Some people don't like doing a gentle practice with deep breath. So I leave that up to you. Okay, so sitting nice and tall, if your eyes are closed, just focus on your breath. Start to relax. Because honestly, with everything that's going on in this country right now, I think our nervous systems are probably a bit on edge. I know mine is, and I can get very emotional at the drop of a hat. So let's just focus internally, just listening to your breath, kind of slowing everything down. Then on your next exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Then we'll inhale the head back to center and exhale the right ear to the right shoulder. Just follow your own breath. With each inhale, bringing your head back to center. With each exhale, moving the head to one shoulder or the other. Just stretching out your neck. Now, of course, if you're having neck issues, and I know that one of you is because you texted me the other day, then you won't want to do this. It won't feel good. And that's always true. Always listen to your body. Always listen to your back, your neck, whatever's going on. And if something hurts, don't do it. And I definitely am the poster child for that right now. So then on the next inhale, we'll bring the head back to center. And on the exhale, we're going to walk forward onto our mats. So bringing your palms out in front of you, pushing into your palms, fingers are spread nice and wide, pushing your hips back, your sitting bones are firmly rooted into the mat. Try to keep your neck as neutral as possible. That way you're not putting extra pressure on your neck. Just breathe. Sometimes we forget to just breathe. I mean, I know that our bodies are always breathing, but I've kind of thought over the last 14 years as I've practiced yoga that there's a difference between the breath that our body naturally creates, our everyday breathing, and actually breathing and letting go. And right now we need to breathe and let some stuff go. Then at the end of your next exhale, walk your hands back in, and let's switch the legs out, unless of course one leg is extended, and then you'll just keep that extended as it is. Bringing the hands back to the knees, sitting up nice and straight again, relaxing your shoulders. Of course, you're always welcome to have your hands in your lap, one on top of the other. And this time, as we focus on the breath, let's do a little twist and get the spine involved. So we're going to take the left hand behind us to the mat. Right hand's going to go to the left knee. Inhale, sitting up, and exhale, we're going to twist to the left, gently pushing down on that left knee. And just using your back hand either for very light support or to help you twist a little bit deeper. Never going too far, because you don't want to hurt your back. And then on the exhale, we're going to move back through center, bringing the right hand behind us. The left hand goes to that right knee. Inhale, sitting up, and exhale, twist to the right. And again, we're going to gently push down on that right knee. And you can look to your right or over your right shoulder if you want a little bit more of a twist. I like to usually get that full twist. And then we'll exhale, turn forward. Let's inhale the arms up, bringing the palms together. And on the exhale, we're going to come over onto the left palm or forearm. The right arm can go straight up or over. That's up to you. Just make sure that your right sitting bone stays rooted into your mat. Sometimes if you go over onto your forearm, it's too far and the right sitting bone starts to pull up. So I tend to just stay up on my palm. But that's up to you. You know, if your arms are a little bit shorter, you may be able to do it with no problem. Then we'll inhale the hands back together, and exhale, we'll come over onto the right palm or forearm. The left arm goes straight up or over. Just getting a nice stretch in the side of the body, which we don't always get. We'll inhale the hands back together and just trace a line down the front of the body, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Then we're going to go ahead and extend the left leg onto the mat, taking your right foot either to the shin or to the inside of the thigh. And once again, if you need a prop for anything, go ahead and get that. Make sure that your sitting bones are firmly rooted. Bring the fingertips out to the floor beside you. We're going to inhale the arms up, palms facing one another. Lengthen and exhale, fold. Always want to lengthen up out of the waist so we're folding from the top of the thighs, not rounding ourselves. Take your hands to wherever you're comfortable today, whether that's the outside edges of your foot, your shin, the mat. If you want to use your strap, just make sure you got your elbows back by the sides. And again, try and keep your neck as neutral as possible, your back flat. Just breathe. It's hard for me to explain what I meant by that earlier, but I think for those of you who've been practicing for a little while, you know what I mean. It's like you kind of just settle into your body and you focus more on the breath. You actually feel it more. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to make any sense today. It's already been a long day. Sasha woke me up at 12:30 and 3:30. And then I got up at 6 and went to the refuge for a few hours, and then we went to work. And so I need this slow down Sunday practice. Making sure that as we're breathing, whether we're breathing deeply or our regular breath, that our movements are fluid, at least a little bit. You don't have to be up and down as much as I am. But, you know, as you're inhaling and exhaling, your body should be moving with that. And then at the end of your next exhale, walk your hands back in. Let's bring the right foot flat to the mat. Adjust it wherever you need to alongside your left leg. Bring your right hand behind you. We're going to inhale the left arm up, and we're going to exhale and twist to the right into Marishasana 3. So you can wrap your arm around your leg like I'm doing. Take your hand to your knee, or take your arm to the outside of the body with the hand up or down. You know what's good for your body, so whatever you prefer. I like doing it this way just because I feel like I can pull my leg in closer to my body. But if you're dealing with girls or a little bit of luxury luggage, you're not going to be comfortable doing this because I'm practically squeezing my body in half. But you know, I don't have any girls, so I don't have to worry about it. And then we'll exhale, turn forward, extend the right leg onto the mat, and bring the left foot either to the inside of the thigh or to the shin. Once again, pulling the buns out, bringing the fingertips out to the side. Inhale the arms up, really lengthen, breathe, and exhale, fold. Yeah. Feels good. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to take our time, just go through it nice and slow. Just keep your breath going. And at the end of your next exhale, walk your hands back in, and then bring your left foot flat to the mat. And again, adjust the foot wherever you need to alongside the right leg. Bring the left hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up, and exhale, twist to the left. Twist feels good. And then we'll exhale and turn forward. So we're going to go ahead into wide legs seated forward bend, and I want to use the blocks and the bolster so that we can stay in it for about 5 minutes. So go ahead and set your blocks up however you like them, and take your legs out wide, of course. Flex your feet, pull your buns out, bring your bolster to your blocks. And I'm going to go ahead and start my little timer here for 5 minutes. So you can rest with your forehead on the bolster, or if you want to turn your head to one side, when we're about halfway through, I'll tell you to turn it to the other side. And if while you're going through this, you start to feel your connective tissues really loosen up, feel free to adjust your blocks in some way if you want to go a little bit closer to the floor. If you don't want to, then just stay exactly as you are. It's your practice. Mine too. Just feel the blocks and the bolster support you. your head is turned to one side, go ahead and turn it to the other side now. And then we're going to exhale and gently come up and move your bolster and blocks off to the side. Let's release the hips one at a time, bringing the feet flat to the mat and to the width of the mat. We're going to grab hold of the knees and just pull up between your legs. Just kind of release everything out. And then we're going to go ahead and come onto our hands and knees. So we're going to go on a shoulder stretch on the blocks. So if you want a blanket to cushion your knees, go ahead and get that. If you don't worry about it. But we'll bring the blocks back. And of course, we're sitting with our legs underneath of us. So I'm sitting on my heels. And I'm going to bring the blocks out in front of me so you can have them on the high side or the medium side. Then when you're ready, you're going to bring your palms together and have your hands on your upper back. And then you can rest your upper arms down onto the blocks. If you need to widen your knees out to give your body some space, then go ahead and do that. And then make any adjustments that you need to really stretch out. And remember, when you're doing shoulder stretch on the blocks, if you drop your head down, you're going to get a different stretch than if you keep your head level. In other words, if your head is lined up down your spine, that's going to be a different stretch than if you drop it down. So just kind of play with it and see what you like. And again, just breathing whichever way you want to breathe today, whether that's deep or regular. And then we'll exhale and come back up. Moving the blocks off to the side once again. We're going to go ahead and come onto all fours. And just make sure that your wrists are under your shoulders. Spreading your fingers nice and wide to give yourself a good base of support. And the knees, for the moment, are underneath the hips. But we're going to just go ahead and stretch the legs out behind us. So on the inhale, we're going to take the right leg back and up. Come up out of your shoulders, so push into your palms, kind of like when we do tiger pose. Except instead of curling the leg up, we're just going to take it back. Then we're going to bring the knee up towards the nose. And then inhale, take the leg back up. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. One more time, let's inhale and stretch. Exhale, and then the knee back to the mat. So then we're going to go ahead and switch to the left side. On the inhale, taking that leg back and really stretching up like you're reaching for that back wall. And then exhale, bring the knee up towards your chest or your nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring the knee back. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bring the knee back. And then both knees down onto the mat. And on the exhale, we're going to take the hips over to the left and look over the right shoulder. And then we'll inhale back to center and exhale, shift the hips to the right and look over the left shoulder. So just do that a couple more times. Just shifting and twisting and back to center. Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice now. You can either do a child's pose on the bolster or you can do frog. Ribbit. So, of course, if you want to do frog pose, you're going to turn sideways on your mat, put your two blankets end to end on the floor in front of your mat, which would be to the side, but in front of you at that point. And then you're going to keep your toes together, one knee on each blanket, widen the knees out. And if you want to widen your feet out, you can, and you can rest your upper body however you want. If you want to come in a child's pose on the bolster, bring the bolster in between you. Keep your toes together, widen your knees out to give yourself space. Sit your hips back toward your heels, and then rest down onto the bolster. And I'm going to do this for a little bit, so get comfy. And of course, if you need to come out of it early, then do so mindfully. If you're in one pose and you'd like to switch to the other one, go ahead and do so now. And then we're going to exhale and come gently out of whichever pose you're in. Come back to seated and shake your legs out a little bit. That was a little bit louder than I wanted it to be. And then once you've shaken the legs out and gotten the blood flowing again, let's go ahead and come down onto our backs. My messy hair. Oh, goodness. All right. Once you're on your back, let's bring the knees into the chest. You can either cross your ankles and rock in cradle rock, or you can come into happy baby, whichever you prefer. Just massage your back. Nice and gentle. That feels good. And then we'll come to a stop. Extend your left leg onto the mat, but keep your right knee into your chest. And we're going to go ahead and do some ankle stretches. So I want you to start taking your foot around into a circle so that your ankle gets stretched. And just make sure that you're getting into every part of your ankle. So during part of the circle, your foot is going to be flexed, and during part of it, it's going to be pointed. And then you're going to reverse the direction of the circle. And you'll probably hear and feel your ankle popping. That's okay. And then we'll point and flex the foot couple times, and then we'll come to a stop. Keep your left hand on your knee, take your right arm to the outside of the body. On the exhale, we're going to twist down to the left, anchor that right foot somewhere, whether it's on the floor in front of your left leg or on top of your left leg or behind your left leg, whichever you want to do. Keep your shoulders as flat to the mat as possible. And you can look up to the ceiling or look over your right shoulder, whichever you prefer. Hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch in your glute and your hip. And if you have trouble reaching your knee with your left hand, you can take that hand to the thigh instead. Whatever is more doable for you. Then we'll inhale that knee back up, give it a little hug, extend the leg onto your mat, bring your left knee in, and again we're going to circle the ankle. Nice slow circles. And then reverse the direction. And then point and flex. Then we'll take the left hand out to the side of the body. The right hand will stay to that left knee. On the exhale, we're going to twist down to the right. Again, keeping your shoulders as flat to the mat as possible. And looking up to the ceiling or over your left shoulder. And we'll inhale that knee back up, give it a little hug into your body, and extend it out. So we're going to go ahead and get prepared for Shavasana, and I'm going to do a supported Shavasana today. Normally I don't do Shavasana with you guys, I just sit and, kind of meditate a little bit. But I'm going to do it today. So I'm going to take my blue bolster and I'm going to have it lengthwise on my mat so my upper back can relax on it. And then I'm going to have my purple bolster widthwise under my lower back so that it's just above my sacrum. I'm going to have to turn this up so that I can see that. And then I'm going to have, let's see, well, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to put one block on the low side on each side of my mat. That's where my arms are going to rest. And then I'm going to take my legs out long and a blanket. And I'm also going to have my eye pillow. So I'm going all in. You can do it whichever way you want. If you want it supported, go for it. If you just want to do regular Shavasana, legs up the wall, reverse Shavasana, whatever you want, have at it. So let's everybody get into position. Bring this over here so that I can start it. Take your legs out to the width of the mat. Let the feet and ankles roll out to the side. Arms can be down by your side or on your blocks. Close your eyes. Take your breath to its natural rhythm. Just relax into your mat. Start at the top of your head, and on each exhale, relax a different part of your body. Let's start to get some movement back into our bodies. Slowly coming out of Shavasana. Perhaps wiggling fingers and toes or moving your head from side to side. When you're ready, rolling to one side and coming back to seated, back into easy pose. And then we'll bring our hands together into Anjali Mudra. Our country is being torn apart right now. And at a time when we really need to be spreading love and giving each other hugs, we can't do it. Because so many people have been quarantined because of this pandemic. They're afraid to touch anybody and they can't, and I understand that. So my final thought tonight is this. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And even if you can't physically touch somebody right now, spread love and virtual hugs and kindness and tolerance, because nobody's skin color or political opinions or religious affiliations or sexual preference is a reason to be hated. It's just not. And I'm sorry for being so emotional, but this really gets me where I live. We just need to love each other and be kind. Please. And it starts with us. We are kind people, so we as a group need to spread love everywhere that we can and spread kindness and joy and breathe. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice, and I hope that you enjoyed it too, and I hope that you guys know how much I love you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.